The most important loudspeaker in any home theater is arguably the subwoofer, but it's often the most misunderstood, not to mention poorly integrated. And so that's what today's video is all about. We will be talking about proper subwoofer placement and setup. So let's get into it. So the secret to great bass in any home theater is to properly set up your subwoofer, because there's a lot of myths out there that by having a bigger sub, a more powerful sub, or multiple subs, that's the key to more bass. And this simply isn't true. In fact, too much of all three of those things can actually be a bad thing and rob you of your bass performance. That's why today we are talking about how to set up a single subwoofer in any home theater environment for the best possible bass response. And this can also help open up your loudspeakers and make them sound fuller, richer, and larger while taking a little bit of strain off your amplifiers. And before we jump right into setting up our subwoofer, you're gonna need a couple of things first. You're gonna need an extra long RCA cable, an extension cord, a tape measure, an SPL meter or your smartphone with an SPL meter app, and of course a subwoofer and the rest of your home theater system. Believe it or not, the single most important step in this entire process is getting the placement of your subwoofer correct. And to do this, we're going to employ a technique that a lot of people refer to as the subwoofer crawl. Now, you don't need to crawl. You can if you want to, but simply walking the perimeter of your room and kneeling down where the bass seems strongest will also work. But this is a key step in making sure that our subwoofer is in the right spot in our room before we proceed. Now, this first step may seem a little bit odd, but bear with me, it does work. And that is place your sub in your primary listening position. I mean, literally place it in the chair that you sit to watch movies. And the reason that we do this is so that we switch places with our subwoofer as we walk the perimeter of our room. And so it will be the same as if we were sitting in our chair and the subwoofer was able to move along the wall and we could hear where it sounded best. But this is just a little bit easier than having to constantly get up, move it around. We can just put the sub where we are and then walk to where it sounds best and then swap positions. And once your subwoofer is in your primary listening position, you're going to want to go ahead and connect it to your AV receiver using that extra long RCA cable we spoke about a minute ago, as well as probably get out that extension cord in order to plug it in and turn it on. Next, you're going to want to find some bass heavy music. I don't care what kind of bass heavy music you choose, and it doesn't have to be audiophile grade. We're just looking for something that is deep and repetitive. I happen to use The Weeknd in order to test and demo and set up any subwoofer that comes into this house. You're free to use that, but you're going to want to go ahead and find something and then hit play. To make this next part a little bit easier as we're listening to our bass heavy music, go ahead and turn your subwoofer's volume up just a little bit. I know we're probably not going to listen to the sub this loud, but it does make this process easier. So go ahead and turn it up just a little bit. So with our music playing and our sub turned ever so slightly up, it's time to begin the subwoofer crawl. Now again, you do not have to crawl, we can walk, but we are going to walk slowly along the perimeter of our room, taking note of when the bass is at its loudest. You are going to notice that the bass is softer and louder depending on where you are in your room. Where it is loudest, go ahead and kneel just to kind of make sure that that's a good spot, because you're getting down low to where the sub actually is going to be. And if it still sounds loud while crouched, that's probably a pretty primo spot to put your subwoofer. Now keep in mind that some of the best places for your subwoofer may actually be behind where you sit. I know in this video example, you're seeing me walk across the front of my room, but make sure that you understand that for your room, the best place for your subwoofer may actually be behind where you're sitting. And after you've walked the entirety of your room, if you've found that there are multiple places that worked well for you, pick the one that simply is going to, I guess, aesthetically be the best and place your subwoofer there. Now that we've found the perfect place for our subwoofer to sit, we can go ahead and connect it to our home theater receiver and the rest of our system, because we're not going to move it from this spot going forward. But there are a few more things that we have to do on the subwoofer itself before moving our attention to our AV receiver. We're going to do a lot of fine tuning of the subwoofer itself inside our AV receiver, but there are a few things that we manually have to adjust on the back of the sub, starting with volume and level. Every subwoofer has some type of volume or level dial. And while this is just what I do, you're free to do whatever you want, but I find that putting it in the 12 o'clock position is the best jumping off point. Now, we may come back to the sub and fidget with it ever so slightly here and there, but starting at 12 o'clock is a generally good place to start. Next, we're going to tackle phase. And for those of you who may be a little bit confused as to just what phase is, let me try and explain it as simply as possible. Basically, we want to make sure that our subwoofer driver is firing in time with the drivers in our speakers themselves, firing in phase. We don't want them firing opposite one another, because when that happens, we're actually sucking bass out of our room when we're trying to put bass into it. So making sure that all the woofers are firing at the same time and in the same direction is important, and that is what phase is all about. Now, if you have a less expensive subwoofer, it is possible that you are presented with a switch for phase, and that switch is probably between 0 and 180 degrees. It's likely in the 0 position by default, and you can go ahead and leave it in there. But as we go through this exercise, if you find that the bass sounds just a little bit better or fuller when it's switched over to 180 degrees, that's really the only adjustment that you can make. Now, if you have a more advanced subwoofer with a variable phase dial like our SVS does, there's a little trick that you can do to make sure that your subwoofer is in perfect phase with your loudspeaker. And the first thing you're going to want to do is place yourself between your sub and the nearest speaker. Depending on where your sub ended up after the subwoofer crawl, you may need some assistance in adjusting the phase while you stand or kneel between your subwoofer and the speaker itself. Once you're positioned between your subwoofer and the next nearest speaker, go ahead and play that bass heavy music track one more time and adjust the phase freely. And what you're going to notice is the bass is going to travel from being more loudspeaker centric to being more subwoofer centric as you adjust the phase. And go ahead, play with it. Watch and hear that bass move like this around your room. You're going to know you're in phase when it locks into the middle and seems perfectly balanced between your loudspeaker and the subwoofer itself. That's how we know that the subwoofer is in phase with our loudspeakers. Lastly, we need to deal with the crossover on our subwoofer. And if you remember from an earlier educational video, the crossover point is the point with which the music is directed away from your loudspeakers and sent to your subwoofer. Now, we're going to set this in the AV receiver itself, but to make sure that we're not working against ourselves, we're going to go ahead and take the crossover dial on our subwoofer and set it to its maximum, or the largest number available to us. That may be 120 hertz, it may be 160, but go ahead and set it to its wide open or maximum setting. To complete the setup of our subwoofer, we're going to be making the rest of our adjustments inside our AV receiver. Now, we used our Sony 1080 AV receiver, but you're free to use whatever receiver you want. Just understand your menus may differ ever so slightly from ours, but you should still be able to follow along. Now, I do want to throw this out there. If your receiver has some type of auto setup or room EQ software built in, your subwoofer is set up properly enough that now would be the time to run that. And when that is complete, you would technically be done. But maybe your receiver is on the older side, or it doesn't have this type of auto software built in, or maybe you're just like me and you prefer to do things manually. You're going to want to keep watching. The first thing we're going to want to do is measure the distance between our primary listening chair and our subwoofer. So go ahead, sit in your chair, grab that tape measure, and simply measure the distance from that chair to the front of your subwoofer. Remember that number, because we're going to go into the main menu of our AV receiver, the speaker setup submenu, and the submenu marked distance, and enter that figure now. While we're in our speaker setup submenu, the next thing that we're going to want to do is tell our AV receiver what size our loudspeakers are. By default, most AV receivers set the speakers to small. And the reason they do that is because they're assuming in a home theater environment, you will be using a subwoofer. And why you would want to set your speakers to small is to direct the bass away from the speakers themselves and to your sub. But if for some reason your receiver defaults your loudspeakers to large, you're going to want to go ahead and set them to small, because the next step is telling the receiver which crossover point to direct the bass away from your loudspeakers and to the subwoofer itself. So go ahead, set the speakers to small. Now it's time to tell our AV receiver which crossover point to use in order to send bass away from our speakers and to our subwoofer. Now you may notice once you're in the crossover sub menu that your receiver defaults to 80 Hertz, and that's fine. This is pretty much the standard. But based on the size of your monitor or bookshelf loudspeakers, you may choose something between 80 and 120 Hertz, 120 Hertz being used with smaller speakers. But if you have larger floor standing loudspeakers, you may consider a crossover point that is lower, say between 50 and 60 Hertz, so that you can get the most bass out of your towers, which you've paid for. But for the most part, something between 80 and 100 Hertz will get the job done. Now, the last step in this process is ensuring that our subwoofer is outputting at the same volume as the rest of the speakers in our system. And to do this, you're going to need your SPL meter. So go ahead and grab that, or grab your smartphone with an SPL meter app already installed, because we are going to use it to take a few measurements. Now, in your AV receiver's speaker setup submenu, find the submenu labeled test tone or levels. Depending on which one it is, upon launching it, you may notice one of your speakers suddenly start to make a rather obnoxious sound. It may sound something like this, at a relatively high volume. This is fine. This is not damaging your speakers. This is a test tone. But take note of the volume of that sound in your system, because we are now systematically going to go through each speaker and make sure that the level of each speaker is the same as that initial measurement. And we're going to do this for the sub as well. And don't be alarmed if some of the speaker levels have to go up while others go down in order to match the initial measurement. This is completely normal. So with the levels all set, we are done. Congratulations, you have set up your subwoofer in your home theater, and now it is time to start watching movies. So if you liked this video, if you found this information useful, let us know. If this is all new information for you, I can't wait for you to tell us what a difference it has made. And if there's other things, other topics as it relates to home theater education that you want us to dive into, maybe demystify just a little bit, also let us know down in the comments below. And speaking of comments, leaving a comment, liking, thumbs up, ringing the bell, and subscribing because of videos like this, it really does help us out a lot. And we appreciate it when you interact and do those things. And if there's anything in these videos that you find informational or useful or have questions about, they will always be linked to down in the description below. And again, if you use the links that we provide, that's another way of showing your support for this channel. Other than that, you may consider becoming a member. You can click join right down there next to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Recovering Audiophile. And I think that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, the only person that has to like the sound of your system is you. So happy listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
You're such a dork.
I am. That's it. That's how to install, and that's how to install a subwoofer in any home theater system. You're welcome. Yeah. Use the links, please.
I know, like, come on. Hey, you shouldn't be going into Best Buy anyway.
Yeah. Don't get
unless you want a side of COVID with your subwoofer.
All right. Wow. That f***ing van, man.
Is it the
It's the doomsday van.
Down the street?
Yeah. Like, no muffler, just doing...
things from like 1979.
I know. Just doing supply runs. Just rehearsing for Last of Us. That game is so good. Oh my God. Part 2. Holy shit. If you're not playing Last of Us 2, you need to be. And if you've already played it and beaten it, shut up. Don't tell me anything. It is messed up.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I really love it. It's been like watching a movie.
Part 2 is even more movie-like than Part 1. I am digging the shit out of Part 2. All right.